Hello everybody, welcome to Hollyberry Colors. I'm Holly. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Today I wanted to do a color along. I don't normally do these, but I wanted to color the TLC page, the fundraising page from RJ Hampson, the man himself. And I thought it'd just be a little fun thing to do. I don't expect anyone to color along, follow along, but I felt compelled to do it. So that's what we're gonna do. So what I did is I have my page printed off here, and hold on, I gotta turn my other light on. Unprepared as usual, nothing different. Okay, so, and I got my markers up here. So I printed my page off on cardstock, the Nina cardstock that everybody has. And what I did was I took a ruler. I took my ruler here, and I just went like this around the edge, and I made a little frame. So that way I have a little contained area to work with. And I'm gonna color with marker first. So I have some markers picked out, alcohol markers. So we will do the marker basing first. We'll come in with a little pencil, and at the very end, I might go over this with black pen just to frame it off and call it a day. I just sometimes, like, no offense to RJ, but with any illustration like this that's kind of open-ended on a large space, I don't always know how to go about coloring it. And I'm doing this just to make it easy on myself. It will be contained, as I said. And honestly, I like the way it looks. I love when you have elements that go outside of the background space, if that makes sense. So I think it's gonna look really cool. So let me get all my markers organized up here. I had to move them so they're all disorganized, and get set up, and we will get started. Okay, so I am hiding up in my bedroom, trying to find a quiet place so that I can do a little voiceover for this, hang out with you guys, color our page together. So I knew that I wanted to do something for the page that a lot of people could follow. So we're doing marker basing. Gonna shade it with some pencil in a little bit. And right now I'm starting with the wall. I'm trying to get parts done that I know what color I want it to be. So I started with the wall, and I'm doing these vertical strokes here that you can see. And that kind of helps with areas like this to mimic texture. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a stripe wallpaper design in the back. So that's a little tip I have when you're doing a large area that could possibly have any sort of texture. Make sure that your strokes are going in the direction that you want them to go, like for stripes or wood grain, for example, that kind of thing. So yeah, I took care of the wall first and finishing up some little bits here and there. And you will see later on in the video, I do forget to color a few things, but I will catch up and get back to everything at some point. And now we are coloring the, what is that? The window frame. I love this color, this E400. I believe it's cocoa brown. And unfortunately, it's one of those colors that you cannot get a refill on because they just can't keep it in stock. So there's this one and Ash Rose, I think, from Ohuhu, that I would love to get refills, but I can't at the moment because they're unavailable. So whatever. I was going to say something else. Oh, by the way, in case you didn't know, I am using the old naming system of my markers. I have the Honolulu Series B. I do not have any new markers. I will not be getting any for the foreseeable future. So these numbers you're seeing on the screen, that's the old numbering system. So I try to use colors all around the page and not reuse them. So I did the hamster and the floorboards in that same cocoa brown. And now we are starting on the sky in the background. I really wanted this page to look hopeful, and I don't know that happy is the right word. I'm tired after work, but yeah, I really wanted it to look hopeful and cheerful, and like things were looking up for little Bunny, and he's having a good day today. So I tried to reflect that in my colors, but I didn't want it to be too bright and vibrant and obnoxious. So I went with the more muted palette on the page. So I've got my more muted blue here on the sky there. And then I ended up coloring the carpet the same blue. I didn't really intend to do that. I think I'd meant to make it more green or a green, but you know, things happen. I made a mistake and just rolled with it. I think I realized right about here that I had messed up, but it is what it is. So, and here again, I'm coloring a large space. So I try to I move quickly, make sure that I'm always keeping the edges wet where I'm coloring so that I don't get like splotches too much in my coloring. I mean, you get a few, but I try to not get any hard, distinct lines when I'm coloring with alcohol markers. And a lot of times I find that the kind of splotches or patterns that you get with alcohol markers are a great resource to use for shading or creating texture, like I mentioned earlier on the wall up there. So yeah, and now we're coloring Mr. Bunny. I went with a more warm gray on him. And funnily enough, this is the second time I colored this page in marker. I did not like the first version I did, and Mr. Bunny was kind of a yellow tan color in that one, but I switched him up to gray this time, and I'm a lot happier with how this page turned out. And now we're doing some of the orange bits, getting all the carrots. And again, I'm trying to recycle colors. I'm trying to keep the colors down. Normally I would just use all of the colors everywhere, but since this is a color along, I tried to minimize that as much as I possibly could. So I'm using the same orange on the fox. I'm gonna forget an ear here, and we'll get back to that at some point. And of course I had to make the cat orange, like my little baby Mercury, just causing mayhem and destruction as usual. Total vibe. All right, and now we're moving on to the greenery in the background. I chose kind of a light greenish gray for the leaves there, and then I carry that on down to the bedspread for Mr. Bunny. Then I go at, I'm going to do the carrot leaves. Then I go a little bit darker for the bush here. And you're going to see in a little bit, I end up changing the color on that at some point because I wasn't quite happy. There wasn't enough contrast for me. But yeah, and now we're doing, this is the brightest color I use on the whole page is this. I think it's apple green. I really wanted that bright green grass. I couldn't help it. I tried so hard to not go vibrant, and I did good for the most part except for this color. But it is what it is. It turns out nice with the whole page. All right, and getting our little red bits in. He's got to have the cherry lolly, right? That's like the best flavor lolly is a cherry. All right, this is a super grayish blue. I used it for the glass bits and the picture. Getting the little pink areas, the pink noses, the pink ears. Now I'm using a more cool toned gray for the metal bits. Getting all that done. You know, just little random bits and bobs that I didn't feel like making another color. Now I'm throwing in some gold areas here and there. Trying to figure out what I need to color. Oh, and I ended up doing a more kind of yellowish brown just to give a nice little contrast to the cooler toned brown I used for the other elements. So this one's more warmer toned, and I used it on the tree and the bed frame and just, you know, again, recycling. This is a great way to keep your pages cohesive too, is to make sure you're reusing your colors, spacing them out evenly over the page where they're not too concentrated in one area. And yeah, I'm just gonna finish coloring the bed frame here. And again, I'm doing that thing where I'm making sure the strokes are going vertical here to mimic wood grain. I didn't come up with that idea. It's just a really smart thing to do that someone else mentioned. So that's that. I'm not taking credit. Almost done with the bed frame. All right, what are we doing? We're coloring the little house in. Coloring eyebrows, coloring bottle labels. Okay, this is where I started kind of just touching up areas, coloring in things I forgot to color. So I'm just kind of showing the marker caps instead of writing down the whatever the color is. But I will try to put all of the colors used in the description of the video. And yeah, just this is really hard to film color alongs because I'm not very good at planning out pages. I kind of color very spontaneously and I figure it out as I go. So I forgot several little pieces to color at the time. Yeah, but it is what it is. Oh, and here I'm adding orange stripes to the bedspread because I just thought carrot vibes for little bunny because that makes him happy. And then I end up doing a darker green. Oh wait, I'm not there yet. Just kidding. We're doing this kind of dark gray for the stethoscope. And still trying to figure things out. I realized I forgot a major chunk of the carpet there. Coloring in this little clipboard thing. And then at some point I'll get to the bedspread. Are we there yet? Nope, we're not there yet. Are we there yet? Nope, we're not there yet. What am I doing? Just total randomness. So yeah, I'm a horrid planner when it comes to pages. I'm a very spontaneous colorist. I will usually spend days or weeks working on a page because I can't quite decide how to color it. And of course, now that I'm talking about that, I start the green on the bedspread. So here I am adding a darker green in just for a checkered pattern. But yeah, I kind of change things up as I go. Realize I don't like something, so I'll switch it up. Oh, I know. Now I'm doing the balloons. I wanted to do those last just to, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. But yes, anyways, a very spontaneous colorist. So this was kind of hard for me to color a whole page in one sitting with markers and figure all my colors out. But it's not really my jam, but sometimes it's necessary. So there's all the balloons. I don't know what I'm doing there. I'm coloring something. Obviously, hello, it's a coloring page. Oh yeah, I forgot to color the bed sheet there. And then, oh, little eyeballs. Oh, here we go. Here we go. See, I didn't like the contrast between the bush and the leaves, so I ended up making the bush a little bit darker green here. We've made it, guys. We've made it to the pencil portion of the page. And yeah. So I'm starting with the orange here. Starting with burnt ochre. Then I'm going to blend that with mineral orange and then deepen the shadows with the terracotta. The Jasmine is for Mr. Mercury that I'll color in a little bit. And hi, Murkies. When I'm coloring pencil over marker, I prefer usually to completely cover the marker with the pencil. I know that doesn't really seem to make sense, but it saves my hand a little bit from having to burnish everything, and really the marker is just to kind of lay out my colors on the page and to get rid of the white on the paper. So yeah, but for this page, I don't do that. I let the marker do some of the work for me, and that ends up being the lightest color most of the time. Not always, but on the orange, for example, I leave the marker as the lightest area. So here we are, just doing some pencil work over the fox nurse. She's a girl, Holly. She's a girl. She has a dress on. And yeah, just working away. Do you think foxes make good nurses? I don't know. Maybe. But do hamsters make good doctors? These are, very important questions that only I would come up with and think about, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Let's see. Yep, just still coloring in the fox. Here I am coming in with that terracotta. And then I kind of smooth it over again with the burnt ochre. Getting that tail done. And eventually I will color something else, but the fox was the biggest part of the orange part. Mercury. Really? Oh my God, he's insane. Okay, here we go. Working on something else now. Just doing the carrots. Same old, same old. Just nice and easy. Not stressing too much. Oh yeah, and the balloon. These balloons were really fun to color. They were one of my favorite bits on the page, actually, thinking about it. On to another carrot. It's like every time I color an RJ page, I think about how fun it is and how I need to color more RJ. And then I get distracted by something else and I just completely forget. And I feel horrible. This page was it was such a pleasure. Such a great time. I mean, I know that the subject matter isn't the happiest, but it brought me a lot of joy to color this page. Especially this part, Mr. Mercury. I had fun adding in his little stripes there. And he is where I actually do use the Jasmine. I'm going to use that on his little, what do they call that? The little area under their nose where their whiskers are, for that part. And I think a couple places on his little face. But he's so cute. My crazy little guy. It seriously takes me forever to color y'all because I keep adding and never fully satisfied with what I'm doing, but such is my life. Here's the Jasmine finally. So yeah, I'm just adding a little bit on his face here and there because little Mercury does have some kind of yellow or cream kind of tinge to part of his face. Yeah, for the green, these are pretty much my basics that I tend to stick to. It's Prussian green, Kelly green, and I usually go a more yellow route, but for these I used the sap green light because I'm gonna use more yellow on the bush and the grass in the back. Yeah, there my lead was broken, but it wasn't broken enough that I wanted to do something about it, so I just kind of turn my pencil and work with it the best I can. So that was the Prussian green, and now I'm adding in the dark green. And then eventually I will add Limepeel at the edges just to give it a nice little contrast. Here we go. So yeah, this is great. I'm not having to press too hard. I'm not really having to worry about burnishing. I can definitely see why people are big fans of markers. And now that I have a laser printer, I would also love to start doing more marker work on the cardstock that I have, because this is just such a pleasant experience. So for the grass, we have grass green, obviously, apple green, and green chartreuse. I love the chartreuses in the Prismacolors. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm using Prismacolors, just FYI. They're just my go-to pencil, so if you want to use other pencils, feel free. Use whatever makes you happy. Prismas make me happy, so that's what I use. And yeah, the balloon was the same color as the grass, so I'm using the same colors up there. Nothing super fancy or earth-shattering going on. And now we're on to the red. I used Scarlet Lake, Permanent Red, and Carmine Red for this one. Not really a whole lot of contrast that you can see on camera. I do come back at the very end and add some white details. I usually like to keep my detail work until the very end of the page because I never know if I'm going to want to change something, so gel pens and white details usually happen at the very end. Okay, now we're moving on to the more cooler toned brown. And I'm only using Espresso and dark brown for these bits. I do add some Putty Beige in for Mr. Hamster Dr. Man. I kind of add them on his face for his fur pattern. Just trying to make him look a little unique and like a little old man hamster, I guess. He's a little old man Dr. Hamster. So that's kind of what I'm going for here. There we go. There's the Putty Beige. So yeah, same thing as Mercury, just around his little nose and his eyes. Alright, and this part's going to take a hot minute, so I'm not going to talk through most of it, but yeah, the hardest part for this window frame here was just figuring out where the heck the shadows should go. And I finally just gave up and kind of picked a side and went with it. I don't care if it's wrong or whatever, you know. I'm not going to stress about it too much. I'm just trying to get a page colored and have a good time. And if I'm stressing about which side the shadow goes on, that's not fun for me. So, yeah, if you're stressed, just pick a side and don't worry about it. That's the side your shadows need to be on. Doot, 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 doot. I don't know what to talk about. Just coloring a window frame. It's exciting. Yeah. Good times. Good times. This is like the world's largest window frame. It's crazy. It does look like something out of Hobbiton, though, doesn't it? That'd be pretty sweet to have, like round windows and round door. That's a vibe. I'd be all for it. Finally, we have moved on to something else that is not brown. I use Nectar and Peach for all of the pink bits on the page. So this band-aids and their noses and their little ears. Just keeping it nice and basic. Nothing fancy. Yeah, and the balloon. Can't forget about the balloon. Oh, now we're back to brown. Basic brown. But this one's more on the warm side. So I'm using some different colors. I'm using chocolate, sienna brown, brown ochre, and cream. So more on the red tinge of woods, I guess. And again, I tried to use it all throughout the page. So got the little fox nose and eyebrows. We did the picture frame. Now we're doing the door and the roof on this house here. And then I know I did the bed frame. So we'll get there at some point. Oh yeah, the tree. How could I forget the tree? Trees like this I find very difficult to add shading. I never know which side to do, so I just kind of pick random places to put my shadows in and just hope for the best. And it usually works out. It's good enough. I'm happy with it in the end. All right, moving on to the bed frame. I don't think I do it on this page, but sometimes when I'm coloring wood, I like to keep it streaky in the direction of the wood, what direction the wood grain would be, to kind of give it that wood grain look, obviously. But yeah, I don't do that this time. I'm just keeping everything pretty smooth. And eventually at some point, I bust the cream out and I use that as kind of a highlight. I really enjoy using cream as a highlight color. Here we go. It's just not as stark in your face as the white is. And it's really nice for wood parts. So here we are working on the footboard. Just trying to keep the shading basic and simple, nothing fancy. And again, I'm starting with that sienna brown, moving into brown ochre. And here I come in with the chocolate to kind of get all the shadows as dark as I want them to be. Just deepening those shadows. It's a lot easier to add than take away. Blending out with that brown ochre. And coming in with the cream. I realized here that I forgot to add cream to the tree, so that's what we're doing, adding cream to the tree. Oh yeah, I'm doing the little label here onto the table. So for these bits, I used Beige Sienna, Seashell Pink, and 50% French Gray for the darkest shadows. And throughout the whole video, please forgive any little noises you might hear. I live in a house with three boys, and there's no shortage of noises. And getting my kids to be quiet to film anything is almost impossible, so it is what it is. But anyways, yep, coloring those parts. Ooh, now we're onto the gold. Now we're onto the gold bits. Coloring the balloon first, and I'm using my basic gold standard here, the gold standard of the gold, with sienna brown, goldenrod, and yellow ochre. Then of course white for the highlights. Nothing super fancy. Oh yeah, can't forget the window latch on the Hobbit window. These crazy shaped pieces are always a challenge to color gold, but I don't stress about it too much. I just go with my heart and color it how I want. Oh yeah, here we are adding the little white highlights because I don't use the gel pen a lot of the times. Oh yeah, I gotta get the stuff on the house. The little pocket watch. Moving on to the blue bits. This is the lighter blue that I used mostly for the glass, and I threw it here on the fox's little coat. And I only used blue, violet lake, and cloud blue because I wanted to keep it super light. I didn't want anything too dark because, again, this is mostly for glass. And glass is transparent most of the time, so whatever. Oh yeah, I used it up here on the picture frame. So yeah, just trying to keep my colors down, keep it easy. And I think on the glass parts I do throw in a little bit of white, but nothing earth-shattering. And again, going with the heart on how to shade this. Not really stressing too much. Oh yep, see there's the white. I forgot to put that down. Oh well. That's okay. And I think these are the wrong colors I wrote for the balloon. I think it might have been Periwinkle and light cerulean blue, but you know, you can do whatever you want for your balloon. So here we are on the sky. I started with Periwinkle and then kind of fade that into the light cerulean blue, and then I finish it off with the powder blue. But I'm focusing mostly on the bottom portion of the sky. I leave the top pretty clear because I like how the marker looks there. It kind of creates this visual interest there. It's not flat color. There's little patches of lighter areas, and it just helps with the clouds that I put in later on. So I don't want to lose that. Oh yeah, I gotta erase. I can't stand stuff being over the lines. It's pathetic. Here I am. I'm burnishing a little bit with the powder blue, excusez-moi. Yeah, I'm just kind of, burnishing a little bit, mixing everything and blending together. But I'm not pressing too hard. And here we are going on the flooring now. Starting with that periwinkle, just figuring out where all the shadows need to go. But I'm sticking mostly towards the objects. I don't really deviate too far from them on the carpet because, again, I have those little patches of lighter and darker areas that you can see, and I want to leave that there. I don't want to cover that up. So and here I'm just kind of spreading those shadow areas out a little bit. That might be my darkest color. That might be my slate gray. But yeah, super basic coloring here on the floor. I'm gonna let the marker do most of the work on that one. Okay, here we go. now I have my light cerulean blue, and I am bringing that out a little bit and finishing off with the powder blue. I can't remember half the time how I color this stuff, guys, so it's like watching it for the first time with you. I'd already forgotten how I did it. Oh, here's the slate gray. Okay. Here I am coming at the end with the slate gray. Deepening all those shadows up a little tiny bit. And here I am again messing with the sky for a smidge. Now we're on to the silver bits. So I have 3 different, well, as you know, the Prismacolors have 3 different grays. They have warm gray, cool gray, and French gray. So I use the warm gray on the silver parts. That's my favorite gray to use for silver, and actually not the cool gray. The cool gray is a little blue for what I normally like to use. I like to stick to the warmer toned grays, but I do use it on the bunny, funnily enough. But yeah, here I'm just using a gradient between 50 to 10% warm gray. Just kind of blend that out, and I use white just for some little highlight areas. But yeah, that's all I'm doing here, just having a good time. Finally, moving on to Little Mercury's box. Just coloring the handle, coming over here to the pump on the hand sanitizer. When my kids were little, they called it Hanitizer. It was so cute. Moving on to the bandage over here. I don't know why I made it gray. Just, I didn't want it to be white. So there we go. I think this might be the last little gray bit for this. Don't quote me on that. See, I was totally wrong. This is the last little bit, this little smoke here. Someone's having a nice little fire in the fireplace. All right, now we're moving on to Mr. Bunny. So I end up using my cool grays here because I wanted to just do something different. I didn't want to use warm gray again. So I went with the cool grays. Just 50% down to 20%. And I actually do use some white. I kind of treat him like I did Mercury and the hamster and throw some white patches on his face. And I do, a lot of times when I'm coloring with marker, I kind of let the marker decide where the shadows are. So if you notice he has a darker area around his eye, his right eye. So I'm going to use that as kind of a guideline for how to shade. So I kind of start with what feels familiar and where I know I want the shadows to be. So I start on the outside of his head, get that all figured out, and then I move on to around his eyes. I don't want him to look sickly or like he has sunken in eyes, but I just was trying to make just something interesting. So yeah, just working on blending all that out. Oops, gotta fix that. There we go. And then here's the final blend with the lightest, the 20% cool gray. Before I hit it with that white pencil. By the way, I literally have like 8 white Prismas. I just love them so much. They're so good. Highly recommend. You should own at least 2. Even if you don't have Prismas, you still should want a white Prisma pencil or 7. You know, I won't judge. All right, I forgot about the house up here, so I decided to use light umber, beige sienna, and seashell pink. Just the basic beige. It's not really the focal interest of the page, so I'm not spending a lot of time on it. It's just there in the background, doing its thing. And she's done. All right, now we're moving on to the white bits. So white is notoriously hard to color. You wouldn't think it because it's white, but there are so many directions that you can take the shadows. Like for snow, for example, I love to use blue for the shadows. But I didn't want to do that this time, so I went with French gray. So I just use a gradient from 50% down to 20%. And you'll see in a little bit, or actually, so yeah, here I'm getting all my shadows where I want them to be. And I'm actually making them a little bit darker than what I want the final look to be like, because I'm going to burnish with white. And that's going to lighten everything back up. So yeah, when I'm doing white, I usually shade darker than I want it to be. And then once you hit it with that white pencil, it just brightens up. See here, you'll see. It just kind of lightens up, and you get that nice look to it. Mr. Mercury. For those that know, I still see a drafty end up in weird places in the house during their little rendezvous. Just coloring the little toilet paper roll. I know it's not toilet paper, but it's funny. All right, on to Mr. Hamster's white coat. He went to 17 years of medical school to get that coat. Or, well, if he's a hamster, I wonder if they like fast-track hamster doctors. Maybe he only had to go to school for like 7 months instead of 7 years. Does anyone else enjoy coloring clothing? I love coloring clothing. It's so much fun. Especially when there's a bunch of folds in there. Oh, I love that. Makes me so happy. It's way more fun to me than like coloring crystals or something. I don't know. It brings me joy. So I had a really good time coloring all these clothes and stuff on here. Okay, Dr. Hamster's done, so I'm just coloring. I'm kind of moving up the page, going in a circle. Just really basic shading on this. Paper. Now we're on to Little Foxy here. I think something does get screwed up where I don't record coloring her face, like that white part, but it's fine. I think y'all can manage coloring and figuring that part out. Oh, but yes, see, her buttons here are silver, so that's kind of another reason I went with different grays, because I wanted to make sure that it looked different. I didn't want the buttons to blend in with the coat. I want them to look like silver on a white coat. So that's another reason I used different grays. So I have this, I call it a condition, white coat syndrome. Does anyone else have it where you like freak out whenever you go to the doctor? Every time they take my blood pressure at the doctor, it's always crazy high because I just get really nervous at the doctor's office. Like even when I'm just going to my podiatrist or whatever, I kind of get a little nervous and I don't like it. I don't like being there. So they're like, do you have high blood pressure? And I'm like, no, I just don't like being here. No offense. It's like when I get blood drawn also, I can't look. If I see the needle, I'm done. I'm out. So yeah, it's not my favorite thing in the world to deal with all that stuff. Oh yeah, see there's her face colored, and for some reason it didn't record. I just had all kinds of problems filming this. But her hat was fun to color. Now we're on the bunny's pillow. I mean, we're not on it. We're not laying on it, but we're coloring it. And yeah, just trying to figure out where I want the shadows to be. Taking my time, mapping out my colors. Sweet little bun bun. There we go. I got everything figured out. So coming in with that white just to blend, smooth it out a little bit. And then you know me, I gotta come back in and deepen those shadows just a smidge. Just a teensy bit. I can't leave well enough alone. God, why does it take me like 30 hours to color a pillowcase? My goodness. All right, moving on to the bedspread. Yep, I realized I was coloring off screen. So there was your obligatory coloring off the screen earlier. I have to include it in every video. Okay, just finishing that up with the white to blend it all. Yada yada, same old, same old. Oh yeah, gotta get his little eyebrows. I have no idea what color I used here, I can't remember. Just pick a really dark gray. Or black even, that works too. Yeah, I'm sharpening a pencil for some reason. I kept that in. Oops. Oh yeah, super light color for highlights. Now I've moved on to the bedspread. So I'm sticking with these 4 colors. Pretty sure I start with the Kelly green. And then I go into the sap green light here. And this is for the darker squares. And then I follow up with that Prussian green. That's my darkest shade. And then I think for the lighter squares, I use the sap green light and the pale sage. And I actually forgot to color one of the squares right there darker. I figured it out after the fact, so I fixed that at some point. But yeah, you know, story of my life. I gotta screw something up on every page. It's okay. But yep, sap green light and pale sage for those lighter ones. Now here I'm shading the little orange stripes using burnt ochre and mineral orange. Nothing fancy, just trying to add a little variation in there. And then I'm going to come back over everything at the end and shade the bedspread as a whole. I think I added a little orange in there. I didn't really like it, so don't do that. Don't be like me. Here I come again. I don't know why I'm doing this. I guess I'm adding a little Kelly green, deepening those shadows, and here we go. Now we've got the 70% French gray and the 50%. So pretty dark. Just trying to make some distinctive shadows with a kind of a neutral gray that goes well with anything. And man, I love the French grays. Best gray ever, in my opinion. But yeah, no wrong way to do this. Just throwing some shadows in. Having a good time. Blending out a little bit on those lighter squares with that pale sage. All right, now we're on to the wallpaper. I wanted to do a wallpaper design. I thought about doing stripes, but I had already done that on one page I'd previously colored this month, and I wanted to do hearts to show the love that we have for our cancer fighters and survivors and all the medical personnel that are fighting every day to save lives and fight this horrible disease. So I went with the hearts and I tried to make a polka dot pattern. It's really hard to freehand, but you know, it's good enough. I'm trying to figure out where the random hearts should go and trying to squeeze in as many as I can. Almost done with that. All right, and now we're on to shading the wall. I start with the inside here. And I'm using that light umber and beige sienna and seashell pink combination. Just a nice light shadow, nothing too stark. Oh, maybe I think I threw in some dark brown. Okay. Forgot about that. Oops. Okay, well, there's some dark brown in there. All right, now we're shading under the little picture frame there with our beige sienna and our dark brown. Then I'm doing just a very light shadow at the base of the wall. Again, it's like the carpet at the bottom. I'm not going to shade too much. Yeah, and I lost my footage there, but I did use the seashell pink just to kind of go up the wall a little bit. But here we're just adding white details on the balloons and just some bits and bobs. Listen to your heart and put the white where you want. You can even use white gel pen. Just do what feels right. Oh yeah, and of course, you know, again, I forgot a thing to color. So here we are with our light umber, beige sienna, and seashell pink again. Because we completely forgot about this little clipboard thing. Okay, and I think we're getting near the end here. So I'm taking my white Prisma and I'm just slapping on some clouds. Just trying to be random, but you guys know trying to be random is very difficult, so. But I think it turned out pretty good. And again, I'm keeping the clouds at the top here. I'm not going too far down because I don't want to get into that darker blue area that I had already shaded before. So we're just sticking the clouds up towards the top. Woohoo, guys! That's a wrap. thanks for hanging out with me, and I'm just gonna send you on to the outro. All right, so here's the finished page. I did have a couple of camera mishaps. It didn't record me shading down here for some reason. I don't know what happened. Yes, story of my life. But I didn't shade his eyebrows. 1 second. Oh my gosh. This is not finished until his little eyebrows are shaded. Emergency. Okay. Hold on. Can't leave his eyebrows undone. There, okay. Crisis averted. Now we can call it a done page. Okay. What was I saying? I don't even remember. I used a straight edge to trace around the edge. Oh my god, I hope I haven't already told you this. Just used a straight edge and a black pen to finish that off, make it look nice and polished, and we're gonna call her done. If you follow along in color very similar to what I did, please tag me so I can see it. I would love to see that. I don't expect anyone to follow this color along. I just wanted to film the whole process and just have a good time with you guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Do you like my page? I hope you do. Don't tell me if you don't. Okay, just lie to me. Tell me you love it regardless, even if you hate it. Make me feel good about myself. Thank you so much. Love you guys. All right. Don't forget to like. Don't dislike. I mean, you can dislike this if you want to, but whatever. That you do you. But I'd love it if you would like the video. I would love to hear from you. Please comment. Let me know what you think. Love you guys so much. All right, I'm going to go. It's really late and I'm tired. Bye. Oh, subscribe. Bye.